we're going to use this practice not only to stretch the body, but kind of dive in on a couple of different poses that I don't see a lot in chair yoga or chair adaptive practices. And there can be various reasons for why I haven't. Maybe you have. But I wanted to touch on those a little bit more. And so we're going to focus with this practice on moving a little bit with our lower body. If you prefer to stay seated for the entire practice, adapt or utilize the upper body to configure yourself into these poses and asanas. Or you can go into standing with it, and I'm just going to kind of move through with you as we stretch into that lower body. With chair yoga, there can be, for many reasons, this kind of focus on the upper body. And, you know, especially when staying seated, then the legs can feel like, or the quads or thighs or hips can feel like they're not getting as much movement into them. And if you're looking at the practice from the energetic level or getting into your chakra system, you know, we find our stability through our lower chakras. In seated, we're moving our center of gravity to our lower body and lower chakras. And then, you know, we have that awareness, but then we still tend to move and open through the higher chakras as we're getting into our heart chakra, our throat, our crown, with head rolls and shoulder rolls and seated cat cows and such. Although the cat cows do kind of dive into that lower area also. But it's nice to learn new ways together into how to dive into these parts of the bodies and still get a beneficial stretch. So we are gonna still have a light warm up with the upper body, and then a couple poses that I really wanted to kind of think about is the Trikonasana, so triangle pose. It's triangle pose when the body is still kind of faced out sideways, or towards the front view, I should say, and not sideways, versus with pyramid pose, you kind of take things to the side and you're in a warrior stance, but you're unbending the front knee and you're folding over possibly for that pose. But with the side angle, you can allow this to be in an adaptive practice, whether standing or seated, because you can have your back leg be a kickstand. It can still be in the warrior stance. You can take it standing, and your front side or leg at that time can have the foot out, you know, to what your body is, you know, open to do. And you have this bent knee that allows you to, you can do a supported side extended angle, or you can take it down to the floor. But what's nice is you can have a block to support you in that, depending on, you know, which way it supports you and how open you are for the practice. Versus pyramid, you know, you'd want this leg unbent, you're folding over, it takes it a little bit deeper, because through the practice we're using our warm-ups and certain poses to get us to the next stage, the next pose, to work different parts of the body while still being mindful and aware of if you're wearing shoes or not, how are your joints moving or not, and what kind of chair do you find yourself in. So let's get started with the warm-up, and then we'll kind of just dive into that. So you can have your eyes closed for this if you choose, and just kind of follow along to voice, or open eyes as needed, or the eyes can have a soft hazy gaze. You're just going to find some head rolls. So maybe you move away from the back of the seat just a smidgen. Make sure you're in a sturdy seat and it's not going to fly all over the place. If you have wheels, lock the wheels, and just, if you can though be in a sturdy seat and not have to be in a chair with wheels, that's beneficial too, because then you can feel safe and secure. But I know there's things that you can put stoppers on wheels. If you have carpet, the chair's typically not going to move, and just adapt so that you are safe for the practice. Okay, so go ahead and start in those head rolls. You can just take it in any or direction. It doesn't matter. We're going to balance out with going both ways. You're going to allow the chin to fall forward, be restful, close to down to chest. Take a pause, take a breath, and then take your head circles in the opposite direction. Allow that chin to go soft again. Pause, head tilted forward. Slowly raise it up back to center. Tilt it back to get a nice gentle stretch in the front of the neck. Then bring it back to center. Find an ear, bring awareness to it, and allow the head to tilt so that that ear goes close possibly to the shoulder on that side. The opposite shoulder could lower and extend and lengthen, arm out to side. And then take it to the opposite side. Bring it back to center. Shoulder rolls. We'll start with going towards the front. Hands can still be, restful and long for this one, or if you really prefer to have fingertips on the shoulders, that's fine too. Take it backwards. Find a pause. Find some space if you can in between the back of your seat and self. Make sure you still feel safe and sturdy. Feet are maybe flat on the floor, toes pointing forward, hands restful on the thighs. Find some seated cat-cows. Just remember your cow is now moving forward, chest lifts, head maybe tilts up towards the ceiling again. That's what the head circles warmed us up for. And when you're ready to exhale, belly button's gonna pull in, you're gonna round the back, maybe drop the shoulders. That's what we warmed up the shoulders for. Allow that chin to be soft, and then just continue to move through your cows and cats. Inhaling, exhaling to your pace, your time. I'm in this space where every time I look up, I feel like I find something new in the ceiling, and I'm like, how did that get up there? There's like a straw up there. I don't know. All right, return to center. We're going to find some center circles in either or direction. Stretching a little bit deeper through our centers, massaging our organs. Massaging the shoulder blades. Also can give a massage on the glutes as you circle around in your seat. Find a pause. Take it the opposite direction. And we're going to be moving and twisting into those hips in that area in that lower chakra zone. So we do want to warm it up, get it kind of greased up. Turn to a slow stop at center. So we're gonna do a couple little leg extensions and awareness, and then go into a figure 4 to start to help and assist with opening up the hips. So I'm gonna allow your left leg to stay put, knee pointed forward. You're gonna bring awareness to the right leg. We might be opposite, I don't know, depends on the camera view, but focus on that right side. If you are doing this and the legs don't move as my legs do, or you're just focused on your upper body, that's fine. Adapt as you need. You could even still just move with the breath, inhaling here, taking a moment to bring conscious breathing into effect, and exhale here. And if you'd like to move with me, if you have that awareness with you, then you're going to allow that left leg to stay center in alignment with hips. Right knee lift is going to come up. You can use the hands, connect to the shin, bring it in close. Take a breath, then extend, inhale, lengthen. Then exhale, bring it in close. Again, extend, inhale, lengthen. If you're filling up that whole right side with new, fresh oxygen, extend, let leave what no longer resonates in the body. We're going to extend, inhale, lengthen once again. Then exhale, fold that right leg past the left thigh. We're going to lengthen here. after your next breath. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, you're going to twist in the direction of your knee. Arms will fall out to sides or back of seat. Inhale, arms high back to center. Exhale, opposite direction. Arms float high again, return to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Take your forward fold to wherever your body requests. Breathe, release, relax here. Slowly roll up the spine. Take your time, no rush, no worry. Extend the right leg. Get some toe wiggles, get some ankle circles, and allow that leg to return to earth. Right knee now is going to stay forward, feet connected to floor or stirrups wherever. Take the practice where you choose. Inhale, exhale, the left leg in close. Extend, lengthen. Exhale, close it in. Extend. Exhale, bring it in. You're working your lower core too, because you're staying in nice and tall and length through your spine, engaging those abdominals. This time we're going to extend. Cross it over the right. Exhale to figure four or seated pigeon. Next, inhale, lift the arms to sky. Exhale the direction of the knee. Breathe here. Arms return to center, float to sky, lengthen. Exhale, opposite direction. Release, inhale, arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Adjust the body as it requests. Listen to what your body's telling you. I just kind of guide the way. If your body's like, I'm not forward folding right now, then don't do it. If your body says, I want to fold deeper, okay, do it as long as you feel safe and sturdy in your seat. This is a gentle inversion. The head below the heart. Release any tension or tightness, especially if you feel it in the jaw. Slowly rise, extend, lengthen that leg. Toe wiggles, ankle circles, and to floor. Take some little side to side or shake anything out if you need. All right, just going to open up the legs a little bit. So we're going to dive into what I was explaining at the beginning of the video. We're going to dive into extended side angle, and there's different ways you can do this. If you are looking to get a little break and you would like to stand, a nice way to transition from seat to standing is you could take the arms down and around, raise them up on an inhale, incline the body forward a few degrees, find stability through the feet. If you feel stable and ready, you have the option then to work your core, work your lower body, work that full body really here. Inhale, exhale, press into the ground and rise into a chair pose, and then come to standing. This is a nice way not to kind of whoa with the mind, with the movement. If you need assistance with that, you could just take the hands to side, push and rise, or you can stay seated. So many options. So if we're staying seated and we're gonna go into our extended side angle and then triangle, because, okay, and let me kind of go back and move forward with this. Trikonasana, triangle, Parvakonasana, side angle, and then pyramid pose. I don't know that one off the top of my head in Sanskrit. Still studying, always studying. And I mentioned, so pyramid, you could have that foot out to side, you unbend the ankle, you fold over, maybe there's a little bend in the knee there. Extended side angle, leg goes out to side, supported side angle, arm can go here, extend over. Triangle, I did say triangle earlier. Ooh. So if you wanted to do triangle, then you would still have that knee possibly gently bent or unbent, and then you would still either take the arm to side and or out. We're going to focus on extended side angle, so the Parvakonasana. And with that, so that's what works on the figure four to open our hips. It's just a nice one to break in with the practice. So if you have a block, you want to use a block, go ahead, grab a block and use a block. You don't have to. If you're going to do supported, like what I'm going to do, we're doing it seated. Just going to take a moment, open up the body. You have your kickstand, your back leg, which is really in the front. So for me, it's the left leg. I could keep it here. I could kickstand it. I could drop it down. Fine there. There's options. So you could always rewind and watch that again. So you could keep it forward. Let it, if you feel supported still under that thigh there, or you could take it, drop it down. For these, my body feels like it still opens and stretches and feels supported by having my front back leg with a bent knee out in front of the chair for this one. And I work with my core, I work with my center, I'm still opening up through my hips. Have the block if I choose to transition from supported to the extended side angle with arm down to earth. So it's just nice to inhale, exhale the arms out to side. My back arm is going to kind of follow in, kind of just dependent on where my body would like to take it, but you're almost finding these warrior two arms here. You could have that arm above to kind of match that back leg, or you could take it here. Gonna then bend my front elbow, that's right elbow, forearm landing on right thigh. That right knee is out to side, but my vision is gonna come back towards you, so I'm welcoming this twist and stretch through my core, why we did the cows and the circles to warm us up there. Could hold here, find some breath, could extend here, could take it here, and then still take it here, or here, or here, or down to the floor, which might be pushing it on the chair a little bit. So you want your body to feel like it's stretching, not straining. I know for me, that means if I want to take it to floor, I'm here and here. Variation of extended side angle to chair. Now if we're doing something on one side, we're gonna wanna do it on the other and balance out the body. So you could open up back to those arms after you raise and lift that arm. Find a reverse warrior, take it back. Take it back to warrior two arms, bring them down to earth or however else you wanna get there. Use the hands to assist the body. Bring that front leg now to the back zone, which is in the front. That's not confusing. And then take it to the other side. Once again, opening up through the hips. Yoga doesn't always have to be flow yoga. There are different styles of yoga. Sometimes it's just working through those poses to fully stretch the body. So, and move the body and work and balance out the energetics of the body. So, opening up the hips again, taking it opposite side, adjust, welcome arms how you choose. I'm gonna bend my left elbow, bring it down to left thigh. I'm gonna raise that right arm overhead. Make sure you're not feeling hunched. Get those shoulders long. I do have the option to bring that block in. And I could float right into my reverse warrior after. And go back to my W2 arms. bring it down. W2, warrior 2. Work on the mind. W2, is it tax season yet? I think that's finished. We'll bring the legs into center. Take a moment after you return to center. Maybe even bring the block underneath the feet if it's feeling safe and sturdy. Allow the arms to fall to the floor with control. Relax the shoulders. Take a moment to breathe. See how you feel. If anything is feeling a little off, you could always balance out with a spinal twist. That will help bring the equilibrium back to body. Now, if you're taking this to standing, as we mentioned, you could find that seat, raise it up, and come to your standing. Then you don't have to have the chair, or you could use the chair to support you. So if you would like the chair to support you, there's a lot of different ways you can do that too. So maybe instead of using the block, you find your stance here. Back foot then is about 40-45 degrees. You find the bend in your front knee. You can find your extended side angle here. Or take your hand to the chair if it's going to support you, if that helps you to stay lifted, and go here. You could try that out. Take a moment. Now, as I mentioned triangle, because I have all the things on the side in my brain, and you're like, what does she mean triangle? What's the difference between all these? In standing, extended side angle, supported side angle, or if you have that block, side angle. And for my body, I always do a little bit higher. Side angle, that knee is bent. Triangle, my knee's unbent, and this arm typically maybe comes to the back, maybe it's on the hip. And then pyramid, I might have two blocks and I'm in line here in that same direction as my foot. So that's the difference with those. But it's kind of nice to use the chair. It gives a different view, and you can still open up that heart by twisting towards the sky. Maybe come back to that warrior 2, unbend that knee. Now, if I have one chair and not two, then I'm gonna need to move my chair or move my body around. But for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna move the chair. Otherwise, I don't really recommend tossing your chair around. But I just want to balance out. So if I do that on one side, I want to do it on the other. Supported side angle. It's kind of nice to have that seat to support. And then can always rise up. You could play with your triangle and see like, oh, how does that feel? I don't know. Yeah, so this side for my body is open a little bit more, so it's easier to kind of flow there. Well, in certain areas, it's like tight in certain spaces that kind of, our bodies are strange because you can be tight in one area and it actually affects something different than you think. So certain areas of my left leg are loose and allow me to do things in that zone and region that I don't do on the right because it's so tight. At the same point, it's also that there are certain things that are so tight on this side, they don't transfer to allow me to move freely on the opposite side and vice versa. So it's kind of weird. Body's one giant muscle, you just kind of dance around. So when you're ready though, whether you left seat or not, if you went to standing, take your time, work through, feel the breath, and then when you're ready, release. Come back to standing, take a moment in stillness. You might want to open the eyes if you do decide to go back to chair so that you can find your seat. Maybe you stayed in seat and you didn't go to standing and you just watched me rumble for a moment. I appreciate you. And then together we're just going to take a moment here. Hands can be pointed up towards the earth, palms open towards the earth. If you're looking for a little connection with universe, if you're looking to still ground and go a little bit deeper, connect with those lower chakras and earth frequency. Palms can be face down, relax the shoulders, relax the body. Maybe you allow your back to float on the back of the seat. And just breathe. Take your time allowing your body to soften into the space you find yourself. Just wallow in the feels of what's been done, the openness of the body, the healing, the progress, the stretch. And I'd like to thank you for joining me for this little bit of chair yoga. Reach out if you have questions, drop something in the comments. And I hope that this eases you into the rest of your day with light, peace, smiles, and love.